Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about the topic name called electronic spreadsheet. Under electronic spreadsheet already we have discussed some of the basic topics. So here also we are going to see some topics that are related to electronic spreadsheet. So in that first one is formulae with cell addresses and operators. So how we can type the formula with cell address and the operators, and creating a simple spreadsheet and inserting columns, how we can insert the columns in between any two columns. So like that we will see here under inserting columns, and then use of functions to do calculations. So how we can make use of the built-in functions which are available in spreadsheet to do the calculations instead of typing the cell addresses and the operators. So these are the topics today we are going to cover. So we'll move on to the first topic, formula with cell addresses and operators. So already you know what is meant by cell address and cell reference. Operators also you know. So cell address means like A1 column letter, it should start with column letter and followed by row number. You should not write row number first and then column letter next. So cell address always usually represented with the help of the column letter followed by the row number. And operators means here normally arithmetical operators only considered here. So arithmetical operators and the addresses are going to be involved in order to make a formula. So the important symbol here used is equal to symbol in order to make a formula. So the main advantage of this formula with cell addresses and operators is works just like a variable. So whenever you change the value in this address, so automatically that will be getting updated in the formula also. When the values of the cells concerned change, the results obtained by the formula also get updated accordingly. So whenever you are changing the values in these cell addresses, the results obtained by the formula, whatever result we are getting by the formula, that also will get updated according to that. So suppose if you want to add the values in two cells A1 and A2, get the addition in cell A3. You want to get the result in cell A3. The values are available in A1 and A2. If we position the cursor, that is when you are placing the cursor in the cell A3 and simply add the values as equal to 5 plus 8. So for example, 5 is available in A1 and 8 is available in A2. And if you are simply using the formula equal to 5 plus 8, then we will get the correct addition in cell A3. But if we change the values in cell A1 to 6, instead of 5 if we are changing to 6, and instead of 8 if we are changing to 7 to A2, then again we have to get the addition in cell A3 by writing equal to 6 plus 7. So we need to change the values again if you are using the values for performing doing some calculations. So instead of writing the values, we are going to write these addresses. So whenever we make some changes in these addresses, automatically the addresses will get that value, updated value. So that is the use of this formula with cell address and the operators. But if we write the general formula in cell A3 as equal to A1 plus A2, then we need not to do the addition in cell A3. We will get the respective addition with the change in values in cell A1 and A2. So here for example, you need to calculate the volume of a box with the given length, width and height. In cells A2 and B2 and C2 respectively, the values are placed. See the formula here in the formula of volume of box. Equal to A2 star B2 multiplication C2, A2 multiplication B2 multiplication C2, and finally if you press the enter key, you will get the result for this length into width into height, that is the volume of box answer you will get in this B2 cell. So the values are available in A2 and B2 and C2. So you are writing the formula equal to A2 multiplication B2, because A2 having the length value and B2 is having 14, that is width value, and C2 cell C and 2 corresponding to that we have the value for height. So these three values are multiplied with the help of this cell addresses and with the equal to symbol, and you will get the final result for this volume of box. Whenever you write the formula, this is the way if you are writing B1 is equal to A1 plus B1. It is a way of writing, wrong way of writing a formula, incorrect way of writing the formula. Always the formula should start with only equal to symbol followed by the cell addresses or cell values and corresponding operators. But here To resultant variable we should not type in front of this equal to symbol. This is incorrect way of writing the formula. But if you write the formula like this in cell C1, you have typed the formula equal to sum of A1 plus B1. Here we can give A1 comma B1 also. It will give the answer as 7 only. So A1 will have the value 4 and B1 is having the value 3. Both are added here by using this inbuilt function sum. But in before this function name we are using this equal to operator. So equal to sum of A1 plus B1 is giving the value as 7 here. This is the correct way of writing a formula. So before equal to symbol we don't have any addresses like this, cell address or cell reference like this. And next, how to create a simple spreadsheet. Here one example is given, that is shopping bill of stationery of the following items we need to prepare by using the spreadsheet. So these are the item names: register, quantity is 3 and unit price is 40, and single rule copy 12 quantities and unit price is 25, and notebook, pencil box, color box, notebook cover. So all these values need to be, all these data need to be typed inside the spreadsheet. So how to create this? The steps to create this spreadsheet are as mentioned below. First step, you need to open the LibreOffice Calc by using the standard process. That means we need to click on the start button, that is Windows icon, and then we need to click on applications. In that application, that is Windows 10 based computers, we need to click on this Windows button and we need to click on applications, and then in that we need to choose which application the LibreOffice Calc is available. So I have gone through this letter L. So LibreOffice 6.4 version is available. Under that we are having LibreOffice Calc. So if you click that, it will go to that LibreOffice sheet like this. Okay, so the first step is you need to open the LibreOffice Calc. As I mentioned the procedure previously, like that we need to open the LibreOffice Calc. Then second step is observe that the Calc has created the worksheets automatically. So automatically the Calc will open the worksheet. Give the specific name to the worksheet, say stationery bill. So how we can give the specific name to the worksheet, that we will see now. To do this, select the menu sheet. You need to select the menu sheet and then rename sheet. Or else you can right click on that sheet and you can choose the rename sheet. Here you can go to the sheet menu and you can choose this option name called the rename sheet in order to give the new name for this sheet 1. So defaultly whenever you open the LibreOffice Calc for first time, the title bar will have the name as Untitled 1 LibreOffice Calc. This you have studied already in the previous classes. And here if you open sheet 1 only, the default name of the first worksheet. That if you want to change it to another name, that is like stationery bill, they told to change. So for changing that, you need to go either sheet menu and choose this option rename sheet, or else you can right click on the sheet 1 and it will show the list of options. From that list of option you need to choose this rename sheet, and in the next step you can do the, after clicking that it will open the rename sheet dialog box. Inside that, under this names, inside this name box you type the new name which you want to give for this worksheet. So I have given stationery bill. After giving that, you click OK. The name will get changed. We will see in the upcoming worksheet. Okay. So name will be changed like stationery bill here in the sheet 1. Instead of sheet 1, this name will be occupied in this sheet 1. So this way we can change the name of the worksheet. Next one, after giving appropriate name to the worksheet and click OK, notice the change in the worksheet name. We can see the changes in the worksheet name like this. Like this we can see the worksheet name. Notice the change in the worksheet name. Step 3 is enter the data given in the above table in the worksheet. So previously we have seen some of the values which are given in this table. These values need to be entered now in the opened worksheet, that is stationery bill. Okay, to enter the above data in the worksheet stationery bill, we need to do the following. That is click means left click only. Normally we will say click. When we are doing right click only, right button, right mouse button, if you are clicking, then we will say specifically right click. Whenever we say the word click, that means it's a left click only. Okay, so click means on the cell A1, enter the word item and then press the enter key. After entering the word item here, you press the enter key. Next one, you need to enter the next item, next headings. Okay, So click on cell B1, quantity you need to type, press the enter key, and then click on cell C1, enter the word unit price, and then press the enter key. Then you may drag the column to resize it. So if the particular column is not enough to hold this heading name, you can drag it to resize it, to change the size of that column, column width. If you want to increase, you can increase. It may be required to resize a column while entering the name of the items. See here, you can see how we can do resize. You need to place the cursor here. It will be showing like two-headed arrow. So in this place you need to place the cursor, then it will show two-headed arrow here. After getting the two-headed arrow, you should click and drag it to the right side in order to increase the width of the cell. Okay, so like that you can change, resize the column. See, after entering the items, to resize, put the mouse at the edge of the column and drag it to the required length. Select the heading cells and make them bold using formatting toolbar. So these items need to be selected and it should be changed by choosing the formatting toolbar. In the formatting toolbar, click on this bold button after selecting these three items in order to change the heading as bold. Okay. So now enter the data so that the worksheet appears as shown in figure. So now you can start typing the data. Then finally it will be looking like this after entering the data. Here everything, all the headings are going to be changed in a bold way. And save the worksheet with appropriate name so that the data may not be lost. So once you enter all the items, you immediately save the worksheet. How to save it? Click on File option and Save. A Save dialog box will appear. Like figure 4.16, like this save as dialog box will appear. You need to choose the location where you want to save your file. Then give the file name here, stationery underscore bill, like that you give the file name. It will be defaultly saved as ODF spreadsheet. Okay, so automatic file name extensions will be ODF spreadsheet. If you want to save this worksheet with the password, so if no one want to edit your to view or edit any of your content which is present in the spreadsheet, you can save this worksheet with the help of this password. So you can give the password and it will confirm again, and after giving confirmation you click save button in order to save your worksheet with the password also. So by default automatic file name extension will be ODF spreadsheet, that is .ods only. This spreadsheet yes will be taken here as a file extension of this LibreOffice Calc worksheet file extension name. Okay, so once you enter the file name, you just click on the save button, and this is the file name you need to give. Click on save button. The spreadsheet file will get saved by default in ODF format with the name stationerybill.ods. ODS only, the file extension name. Remember the name and the location of the file to retrieve it in a future. So in future, if you want to open the same worksheet again, you need to remember the name of the file and also location where you have saved, which drive you have saved, that location also you need to remember. Now calculate the total cost of each item in this worksheet. So how we can calculate? So for that we need to type the total cost at the end. That is in fourth column we need to enter this total cost to do calculation. So here we do not need to insert the new column. Since we are editing the spreadsheet in the sequential manner, because in a sequential way only we are entering all the details, first item, then quantity, and then unit price, and then only we will use the total cost. So that no need to enter the total cost in between any two column names. We are going to enter at the last only. Anyhow, if you want to insert any new column in between the two headings, that procedure also we will see now. So inserting columns. However, if you want to enter the data in the previous column, then you have to insert the column before the column C. So before column C, if you want to make any insertion, you need to place the cursor over the column C. Okay, and then we can shift the column D, and then empty column C will be created. See here, I have placed the cursor mouse cursor over this column C. I want to make one empty cell in place of column C, so that I am placing the cursor over C, and then right click on this. After placing the cursor, right click, okay, and then it will show the options, a drop down list like this. From this you choose the option insert column before or after. So if you here, this is the last heading, so that we want to enter or we want to insert the column before only, previously only. So if you click this option, so this C, whatever value or whatever data which is available in cell corresponding to column C, everything will be shifted to D. Okay, see here, now it is shifted to D, and here empty column is created under C. So like this we can insert the columns. So in order to insert the column, before any column, position the cursor on any cell of the column before which you want to insert the column and select. As I said now previously, so like that you need to place the cursor and right click over it, and you choose the options, or else after placing the cursor, click on sheet, insert columns, columns and column left. Similarly, to insert the column to the right side, select sheet, insert columns. Sheet menu you need to select. Instead of right click also, you can go to sheet menu, insert columns, columns and columns right. You can choose for inserting column at the right side. See, like this, sheet menu you need to click if you want to insert the columns to the left side and to the right side of the selected cell. So how to insert the formula now? Now to calculate the total cost in column D, for each item, move the cursor on the cell D2 and enter the formula equal to B2 star T2 to calculate the total cost for the register. Now only for the first item we have entered this formula. If we want to apply the same formula for all the other cells, okay, no need to type the formula again for the all the other items also. So just we need to click on the first cell, where first cell formula where we entered the formula, that is in cell C2. We need to select. After getting that thick border, you need to place the cursor at the mouse cursor at the right side of this cell, right corner of this cell. So this here we calculated the total cost here in cell D2. So once you enter the formula here in cell D2, if you want to apply the same formula for the other items also, just select this cell and then place the cursor at the right corner. So here you will get the one dark plus symbol. If you get the dark plus symbol, that is called insert handle. Okay, so just click and drag that handle to the down. Okay, so the formula will be copied to the all the other cells also, as like what we have seen in the first cell corresponding to register item. What formula we have seen, that formula will be copied to the all the other cells, and we no need to type the formula again. This is one of the advantage of this autofill handle. Okay, that plus symbol indicates that is an autofill handle. It automatically fills the remaining cells formulas. So instead of writing the formula again in the next cell D3 to D7, click on cell D2 and hold and drag it down to D7. Okay, then the formulas to calculate the total cost will get copied in the other cells also. The address of the cell gets changed automatically for the all the other cells also. It will get changed, the address will be getting changed. Now enter the formula in cell D8, as like this you need to enter to calculate the total cost of all the items. So if you want to calculate the total cost of all the items, you need to enter the formula like this: D2, D3, D4, D5, all the items cost grand total. If you want to find out, you need to enter the formula like this, and you will get the grand total for all the items. Next one, use of functions to do calculations. So whenever the cell addresses is getting increased, we know we cannot type the all cell addresses to make one simple formula. Okay, so everything all the cell addresses will be going very lengthy. Okay, so instead of typing very lengthy formula, we can go for this inbuilt functions that is defaultly available in a spreadsheet. So in the example of stationery bill, to calculate the total cost of all the items to obtain the bill amount, we need to add the amount of each item. So we may add each cell by using the formula. Position the cursor on the cell D8 and enter the formula like this in order to get all the grand total in cell D8. So this may not be practically possible if there are hundreds of items, and also there are more chances of error will occur. Okay, even if we miss one item amount, then the grand total will be a wrong one. Okay, so when there is a large quantity of data, it becomes difficult and complex task to write the formula using only the cell addresses. To avoid this kind of problems only, we are going for this built-in functions. LibreOffice Calc provides built-in functions. So sum function is one of the function which is used to get the sum of all the range of cells. So we can use the function sum of D2 colon D7, that means range of cells from D2 cell 2, that is D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. All the cell values are going to be added here by using this colon operator. So sum of, this of means parenthesis. So sum of D2, that is a starting cell address, D7 is ending cell address. In between we are using the symbol called colon. Colon only here it is representing a range, that is starting value to ending value. Instead of this colon, we can type like this also: sum of, that is parenthesis, sum parenthesis opening parenthesis d2 comma d3 comma d4 d5 d6 d7. Like that also we can separate the cell addresses by using comma, and we can close it in order to get the same result, okay, in cell d8. To obtain the total cost of all the items, we can type the formula like this. In the function, we need to include only the cell range, starting address and the last cell address. Only we need to type here. So this is the method 1, this is method 2. So method 2 will be a very simple one, that is using the inbuilt function which is available in the LibreOffice Calc. The spreadsheet applications contain different functions to meet the requirements of different fields. So here we have seen only some function. Like that we will have we are having several different functions for different applications. So these are some of the examples of commonly used basic functions in a calc. That is sum. It is used to add the values contained in the range of cells. Next, average function. This is the name, the same name with the same spellings only you need to type whenever you write the function name in the spreadsheet. If you do mistake in this name of the function, then you won't get the result properly. It will show error only. So average is, the spelling for average is AVERAGE. You should not write like AVG. If you write AVG or AVERA something, if you miss some letters, it won't give the proper result. So the full function name you need to write correctly with the correct format. This is syntax, means it's a format. So same format you need to use for getting the result. So average, it find out the average of all the values contained in the range of cell. So maximum function is used to find out the largest value contained in a range of cells. Minimum, it is used to find out the smallest value which is available in the range of cells. For example, if you have values from C1 to C7, from C1 cell to C7 cell, which is the minimum value, that value will be returned here. And count, it is used to count the number of cells within a range of cells. So how many number of cells are there in this range of cells? No, that is going to be listed out by using this count function. So like this we'll have we are having many more functions under the spreadsheet. These are some of the basic functions which are used in the spreadsheet or LibreOffice Calc. Thank you. With this we will end up the today's session. Thank you once again.